All right, welcome to another feeder league here on my YouTube channel. I am incredibly excited to play these, and I will do so for as long as they allow me. This pack is interesting. So, I have Saga, Thoughtseize, Etchland. Pretty interesting. I like Thoughtseize a lot. I like Saga a lot. Definitely one of those two. I think I've narrowed it down to Thoughtseize or Saga. In order for Saga to be incredible, we kind of need to get the artifacts flowing. And that's kind of like a color, if that makes sense. Okay, I think I'll take the Thoughtseize. I like that card. It's just so solid. It's, picking apart opponents' combos, and yeah, I mean, let's see. It can also clear the way for our own combo. So, funnily enough, both Dark Confidants are in this pack. But my pick is going to be between Preordain and Through the Breach. I like Through the Breach early. I like, black-red as a color combination for Through the Breach with, Reanimation in the mix. Preordain is solid, though. Okay, let's try Through the Breach and see if we can get there on some cool deck. So here, Pest Infestation is the best card in the pack, in my opinion, but I think I'm going to go Life Death here and try and do what I can to fight over what I'm trying to do here. Honorable mention to Pentat Prism. That card is just fine with a card like Through the Breach. But yeah, let's try and do it all here. Emperor is actually a solid reanimation card / just creature, so no problem picking that one. No big creatures yet, but we're really setting up for the big creatures to be great in my deck, so I like that part of it. Now what? So let's see. Trumpeting Carnosaur is a card that is awesome with Emperor and Life Death, so maybe that's the one. Pay 3 mana to kill a creature, then reanimate it later, get this Discover. Okay. That's actually decent. It's good with Emperor, yeah, good with Life Death, as I said. Taking it over Nethergoyf and Burst Lightning. This pack has Recurring Nightmare in it, which is a card that is also good with Trumpeting Carnosaur. And some replaceable removal spells. So, okay, let's go Recurring Nightmare. Yeah, this deck is shaping up to be... It looks fun, at least, right? Lots of upside here. We need cards that are good with Through the Breach. We need cards that are, good to reanimate out of the graveyard. So the Eldrazi's are not on the top of my list, but I would take an Eldrazi. Mainly looking at stuff like Archon, Bristlebrand, and, those boys. This pack doesn't have anything at all for me, so which direction is it more realistic that I'm going? Is it realistic I'm going black-red aggressive with the Surfer? Is it realistic that I'm going Doomsday with the Oracle? Is it realistic I'm splashing green for Raging Ravine? I'm actually gonna go with Raging Ravine here. It's like Minsk and Boo and that type of shenanigans. Here's Archfiend. Archfiend is a card that's good with, the blood guys like the Bloodtide Harvester, Voldaren Epicure type cards, a little bit of madness action. Galvanic Discharge is very replaceable removal, so I guess I just go for this one. I might Thoughtseize myself in a pinch. Wow, this is a good duress. Wheeling a duress. That is very, very strong. Here's Preacher or Bloodchief's Thirst. I feel like I can get removal later. Preacher could be good with a Recurring Nightmare, but I mean, both are kind of replaceable. Yeah, pretty happy with that one. Manamorphose. I guess there is a world that card is playable. So I have like the tier 2 fatties, but a lot of good stuff to, I guess also tier 2 reanimation, really. But I've kind of put my mark on the draft, so to speak. I didn't let anything pass, so hopefully I'm setting myself up for a good second and third pack. Delayed Blast Fireball, not going to do anything in the main deck, but could become in handy out of the sideboard. So this is actually a fun one. I'm actually going to go Faithless Looting here because turn 4, it's a good combo with Archfiend. It's just good in general when I play Reanimator. So yeah, nice looting. So I'm passing removal spell number 5 here. Let's see if that's going to end up hurting me, that I've passed 5 removal spells pack 1, that I realistically could have taken all of them, maybe 4 of them. So now I have looting, have Thoughtseize on myself in a pinch. Trumpeting Carnosaur can put itself in the graveyard. So yeah, it's starting to look like something. 3 ways to reanimate, 1 way to through the breach from hand. Okay. Patiently waiting for the next pack. These cards are not good. Survival of the fittest. I mean, you can have some, black-green survival deck. That's, has a easy way to put fatties into the graveyard. But yeah, not for me right now. Demonic Tutor is going to be hard to pass up. Demonic Tutor is basically my second through the breach. It's my second way to reanimate. It's my second Emrakul or whatever I end up with. Snuff Out is a card I love, but Demonic Tutor in a combo deck is exactly where you want to be. I also have to work on the mana at some point. Let's see if I get the chance as we get shipped a Sapphire. Okay, I mean, even though this is not the best Mox deck out there, it's very strong between, DT, Nightmare, Preacher, Through the Breach, so very, very excited about the Mox. What is up next? So Seething Song is good with Hardcast Carnosaur. It's good with Through the Breach. Is that enough? Could get better as the draft goes on. No tier 1 fatties yet. It's basically Seething Song versus Bone Shards, I guess. Magda is honorable mention. So way to get rid of creatures from hand. Bone Shards is serviceable, like looting. Maybe that's better. Seething Song can be a little bit narrow. Okay, so now we have Black Fetch over not a lot. I'm not big on Wishclaw Talisman, but I get that it's poor man's Demonic Tutor. So, I mean, we're slowly getting there. This is like an Archon and an Entomb away from being a great deck. So, let's see if we can get there. Demonic Tutor is always awesome as a glue card. When you have these, put Fatty in the yard, plus reanimate, cast Through the Breach with a big creature. So that's a good one to get early. Thoughtseize and Duress, great disruption. Can't really complain about this. I also need to pick up like random creatures that are serviceable along the way because of Recurring Nightmare. The Preacher does a lot of double duty here. I hope I don't have to play the Reckless Pyrosurfer, but let's see how the deck shapes up. Yeah, these tournaments are just so fun. I can't really get enough of those. I should probably take Fetch Land here. I'm taking it over Inquisition and him. I think that's good. Now I just need like a Badlands or Blood Crypt, and I have respectable mana. I can't stress enough how important having good mana is in Vintage Cube. Everybody's gonna have, solid decks, good decks, whatever. But if you stumble on mana, that's just the worst. So I really want to minimize that variance. Let's see, is Manamorphose even useful in the deck? Right now it's not useful, I believe. But it's just, one Barrogoyf away from being useful, so I'm gonna let it stay in here for now. I'm also kind of, the Bone Shards is way better than the removal spells I passed because hopefully it's going to have synergy. It's also going to be 4 mana, actually 4 mana Archfiend, kill 2 things. That'd be quite nice. So what do we have here? We have Proving Ground. think I have to take that card to improve my mana over not a lot. I mean, Unearth. This is not a good Unearth deck. I have a couple of creatures, but I'm not going to miss Unearth. Proving Grounds could be decent. There's even a world where now I have 3 green sources. If I had the Ravine, I have 4. Manamorpho is kind of 4.5, so now I can cast Minsk and Boo if I need to. I don't mind this. Sneak attack. Huh. Okay. I mean, let's have some redundancy, and then let's please start and see the big creatures. Liliana would have been fine as well. Sneak attack is in the deck. So now I'm basically all dressed up with nowhere to go. But I've done a good job fighting for those fatties. Let's see. I guess I speculate on Dark Depths and take the Hex Mage here. The other cards are not good. Let's speculate on Dark Depths. Let's say I have Dark Depths with Hex Mage and Demonic Tutor. All of a sudden, that's serviceable. What do I have here? I don't have anything I want to play. This Metamorph might do something. I don't know. Let's put it in the board for now. Chandler is not bad. I actually like Chandler. Like a little bit of self-milling. It's not bad. Yeah, well, Seething Song is good with Sneaky Boy as well. And here, I'm not going to play these cards, but I'll draft a Tar Pit in case I open Ancestral or Time Walk. Him I can actually cast. Okay, so now Manamorphose is worth it. The mana... Okay, sure, the curtains. I like this a lot. Now I need some Premier stuff up here and then in a tomb, and we're rolling. This deck has a lot of potential, but the potential has not been ashed in just yet. Mind Twist being a decent card. Dismember is good. Maybe this is just Dismember. Corpse Dance doesn't really do anything yet. Let's just take Dismember. That card is serviceable in any deck, and this is no exception. This pack is absurd. I'm obviously going to take the Pearl. But, wow. Urza, great. Tameo, great. Tinker, great. So, funnily enough, all of those 3 cards are good in the same deck. Lelia, super solid card. There's Ulamog, though. Yeah, I have to take the Pearl here. But here's Atraxa. That's, I think, the best card. The best card possible in there for me, because it's good with Sneak, good with Through the Breach, good with Reanimation. Yeah, Atraxa's incredible. Let me just fix these cards before looking at the next pack. Is this Rakdos Theater? The Theater is fixing. Tarn is also fixing, but I already have a couple of fetches and only one thing to find. Baragorth would be fine, but I think this is exactly what I want because I want to cast him to Torag, right? Let's see. What does Skullclaim do here? Not enough, I will say. So I guess I'll just take Bauble and keep going. Yeah, let's take Bauble. What about this one? Torsten. Torsten is good with a lot of stuff here. The cool thing about sneaking in Torsten is actually it digs for the Atraxa to sneak again, which is useful. Torsten is fine. Yeah, I mean, can't really complain about Torsten. My creature suite is not ideal, but I think it's good enough. Let's check my playable count. I have 6 mana sources, and I have to add 12 more cards, so I'm getting there. Definitely on track. Yeah, Trax is the best one here. I would really want one more good card with Sneaking Through the Breach. I think that would make the deck good. I did see Ulamog, but it was a Mox Pearl. I couldn't help myself. Interesting if I play Metamorph in this deck. Here's Blightsteel. Good old Blightsteel Colossus. I mean, that can get people out of nowhere. It does not work with reanimation, but it's decent with the red cards. If my opponent knows about it, it's not that great, though. Okay, so now I have a full deck. What am I cutting if I get upgrades? I guess the recurring nightmare stuff is not ideal. I have Emperor and Dead, Life Death. But okay, I did pick up a few cheap creatures like Chandler, Curtains, Emperor. Here's Dark Depths. Am I going for that one or just simply taking Fire Covenant because that card is absurd? I feel like I should go Fire Covenant. That card shores up a lot of, weird situations. Is Corpse Dance ever going to make the deck? I don't think so. So maybe I take Shieldbreaker for the sideboard. Okay. I don't think I wield the Ulamog. So who's playing the Ulamog that sent me Corpse Dance? Oh, the Ulamog is here. Perfect. I forgot which pack it was in. Okay, let's take the Ulamog. Bat's not bad. I like that card. Maybe the Recurring Nightmare is not strong enough. Yeah, these cards don't do anything. So let's see. Recurring Nightmare. Do I play Epicure? Epicure is a way to get rid of a fatty. Okay. Okay, so I might have some building to do. I don't have to play Metamorphose. I need to cut the cards that aren't helping with my plan. Right? So Torsten could be the card I'm looking to cut because I found Ulamog. But maybe not. Recurring Nightmare is kind of the card I'm looking at right now. But maybe I should be looking at a card like Dismember instead, because that is not necessarily helping me. Bauble, but that's good with Channeler. So if I'm trying to cut the cards that don't either is my combo or protects my combo, I think that's how I'm supposed to play. Could be something with, yeah, the Epicure is actually decent because of Recurring Nightmare specifically, but it's also just good with Archfiend. I don't want to cut Nightmare. What about Bat? The Bat is not good with Nightmare, but it clears the way. Fire Covenant could be a sideboard card. So maybe now if I add... I feel like I have to cut one more. The Bauble. Could be the Bauble. Have another creature out here. Could be the Bauble. Yeah, maybe it's fine to cut the Bauble. Feels a bit weird because I have Channeler, but let's try. And now, let's see. Definitely no forest, no plains. Let's count red. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 8 of those guys at least. How about black? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 11. 11, 8. How does that sound? I think it sounds good. Basically the Hymn to Torok that I want to cast turn 2. So did I say 12, 8? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, this is 11, 8. I will accept those terms. Okay, this deck looks a lot of fun. Let's see if we can get some wins with it. All right, guys, quick message here. If you want to have access to my deck guides, my strategy articles, whether you want to pitch me a sweet deck to play on the channel, whether you want to look into coaching or simply just want to say thank you for the content I put out, please check out my Patreon below and become a Baron today. Now, let's get back to the games. All right, round 1. This opener is interesting. Let's see how I play this. I feel like I should duress turn 1 because of all the bad things going to happen in Vintage Cube. And then turn 2, who knows? Looks like Emperor to me, and I'm kind of delaying my Faithless Looting decision. If I draw land turn 2, I might Curtains. Especially depending on what I see in my opponent's hand. Let's duress here. Okay, my opponent's on white. Sorts of Plowshares. Pretty easy pick. My opponent has a great hand. Slow and steady oftentimes wins the race. Here's take 4 to play Legionnaire turn 1. Mox. Does that change anything? Feel like I should still play Emperor. Exiling my opponent's Plow. And now I'm basically hoping for my opponent to kill the Emperor and we move on from there with Plow out of the picture and Touch out of the picture, but that's not going to happen. Okay, so I guess we're racing a little bit here. Now I think it's... Ooh, that's a good draw. I was about to say now it could be time to go Faithless Looting, because if I hit a good creature, I'm reanimating it right now with Emperor. Maybe that is exactly what I have to do. All right, let's dig for a big creature that stays in the yard. Kind of like Torsten. Okay. So I could reanimate it normally. I should maybe do that. No, maybe I want the... Wait a minute. Let's see. It sacrifices at the beginning of the next end step. So that means I'm getting the 7th. Yeah, okay. So with that, I will... Maybe getting rid of the life death is reasonable, because I have... So now let's see. Exile Torsten. Resolve. Activate. I get some stuff. Okay. I attack for 11. I get 7 1/1s. After having played a land and a curtain. Pretty nice turn 3. Oh, something happened there. Sacrifice it. Okay. Interesting. I'm not positive about that. I'm not sure if I should have gotten a 7 1/1s there. Please let me know. I would think that sacrifice and dying is the same, but who knows? Opponent concedes here. Too much pressure between Ancient Tomb and that big hit. I have a 4/4 here. Then my opponent needs to chump, and then I'm menacing over, putting my opponent to 2, making the Ancient Tomb dead. My opponent saw the Blightsteel, which makes it way worse. So against white, I will sideboard in my 2 removal spells, and I will sideboard out the Colossus. Simply think it's too unreliable. Do I have anything else that's unreliable? What's my worst card in this deck? Is it just Hymn to Torak? Because time and being on the draw and crap like that? Maybe it is. Alright, then let's fix our mana a little bit when we do that. Adjust the red. And run it back. Brokenness is broken. My opponent's hand was super scary. Wow. Good creatures, more removal. But it wasn't good enough against my awesome Faithless Looting. Okay, so funnily enough, we have some potential combos later here if I get to 4 mana. Ooh, turn 1 library, awesome. Duress. That's not a duress. I feel like I should speed things up here. Go for a little bit of looting. Discard Atraxa. And what? I want to say Swamp, but maybe that's crazy. Hmm. Maybe it's the Preacher. Maybe I can do better. Yeah. Let's try that. So next turn I go Demonic Tutor, Life Death, most likely. And then I kind of go from there. Opponent cycles, might as well. Then they can start drawing, but that will be slow. Atraxa is a card that will get killed by the white deck, but hopefully it has drawn me 5 cards, so I can kind of go again. My opponent could have brought in Graveyard Hate. Ooh, that's the punishment. I guess it's not a punishment. But that was a reason to play out the Ox. So, play that, pay for it. Cast Demonic Tutor. And I will go for my reanimation in Dead Gone. Could go Emperor, but that guy could die. So I would rather pay the life. If I go Emperor first main and it dies before combat, it's a catastrophe. But it's also not nothing to take 7 damage. Tap land, sure. I'm actually going to play land first, play around Mana Tithe. Expect to get plowed. Interesting. So now... Then reanimate. A1. A1, sure. Don't get Mana Tithe. Here comes Atraxa. Atraxa is now looking for stuff like Sneak and Through the Breach, so the Ulamog can be awesome. Don't plow me, bro. Looks like I'm not getting plowed, so I can go get Sneak Attack. That's cool. I can go get land. And I can go get a creature. Probably... So Sneak Attack is awesome with both of these, but I think it's slightly better with Torsten, especially because it looks for more creatures. Funnily enough, I'm only drawing a little bit of draw power here. 3 cards off the Atraxa, but it's 3 good ones. Question is, am I supposed to Bone Shards now? I don't think so. I think this is okay. So it's basically only a question, how does my Atraxa die? It's not whether it dies. Alice Jailer, annoying. But I will get it back with Ulamog if that's the case. My opponent has 8 cards. Did not have Plow or Solitude last turn. I simply think it's impossible to fathom that my opponent didn't kill the Atraxa in response to me drawing all those cards, or looking at those cards rather. Opponent goes up to 8 cards. They will have to find something soon. They know about Sneak Attack. They know about... Okay, cool. So, Atraxa getting killed. Reasonable. I'm going up to 19 here, which is definitely not nothing. I'm going to have to give my opponent a card off Sneak Attack. Let's see what's going on here. Broadside Bombardier. My opponent did not have Plow last turn. What about now? I can go Bone Shards, the Archfiend. Oh, Bone Shards, both cards. With Archfiend. Maybe that's better. Setting up a little bit. We'll try that. Let's see if it works. Discard a card. So I go kill that one. Discard. Pay. So now I get Mana Tithe. I don't even know if this is good. Let's see. Let us see. Ask for Madness. Pay 8 life. That is not nothing. Opponent sacrifices Bombardier. Opponent. The Sentinel is gone, but my opponent still has an almost full grip. But I'm setting up for a sneak turn of double fatty. And now I have an 8-4 in play that's also threatening. Does it have Menace? I don't think it does. Okay, the opponent concedes here. Yeah, the opponent knew what was coming here. I just outbroken my opponent, drew the Mox, drew the, stitched together my combo, and my opponent had a great draw, but my deck made my opponent look silly. All right, off to a great start. Let's keep it up. All right, round 2, right? Let's see. Yes, round 2. And what do we think about this? This is just a lot of lands. Sure, I can kill some stuff, but I think I have to have, more combo pieces. Even just having a sneak attack is better. I feel like I can get rid of the Proving Grounds. It doesn't really do anything for this hand. So I go turn 1 Theater to get the most selection out of it. I don't think the chip damage will matter that much. Could, find something like a Hymn to Torque or something. Nice choice. I was lucky to get rid of a bad card. Blood Crypt, go. Preacher. Okay. So the thing about this hand is I don't even think I'm supposed to cycle this blood token yet, because I need my 4 lands, and there's some potential later with like Archfiend, me drawing a fatty, etc. Okay. So now I really want to see a big creature for obvious reasons. As I deploy the Preacher. Preacher is kind of a must-kill card here for my opponent. If they don't kill it, it can kind of run away with the game. Don't do it, opponent. Oh, Crabomination into... Okay, I understand. I understand. So my opponent hit my life death alongside... Okay, so my opponent didn't hit anything here. That's cool. I draw Carnosaur. So I can attack with my Preacher here to draw. I don't think my opponent will be interested in trading. Draw land. Not exciting, but I can develop a sneak attack here. My opponent is trying to think about what happens if that card stays in play. So the cool thing is, in like a red-black mirror, I don't think there's any way to kill sneak attack. So getting it into play will do wonders for me long-term. Carnosaur, worth mentioning, is the Discover 5 still happens when you sneak it, so I'm definitely ready to have a big turn. Don't Pest Infestation me, bro. Don't do it. You're just a red-black deck. You don't have any answers. Or enchantments. That's what the deck does. So let's see. Am I supposed to chump block or take 7? Let's take 7 here. I'm at 12. That means the Preacher is now making... Oh, Barrowgoyf, he's a big boy. Recurring Nightmare. This is potentially awesome. So... How do I play Magic? I think I play Magic by... playing Recurring Nightmare. No, wait. If I play Recurring Nightmare and I blood away the Carnosaur, I can get a Carnosaur. But if I sneak it, I can do that next. Yeah, I feel like I should sneak it. I'm a big boy. I can hit something sick off the Discover here. Well, almost. I guess get in for 9, get a 1/1. That's pretty decent. So now what I do is I develop the Nightmare. And I have some good stuff in play, right? Aragorn is only a 1/2, which is kind of funny in a matchup like this where we're supposed to, you know, kill each other's stuff. I will say I might have to chump this turn, but I also want to keep creatures around for Recurring Nightmare to do their thing. What is this? Aragorn? Maybe? Fiery Confluence. Let's see. 1 damage to each creature. 4 to my face. Is that game over? 6, 9. Okay, my opponent did it. That's cool. Fiery Confluence is the big one here in the race. I can't draw anything, so... Okay, that was unfortunate. I actually thought I had that game, but yeah, the race was definitely on. My opponent's creature-centric, which makes Blightsteel less realistic. And spot removal like Dismember better, so I guess I just make that swap and go for it. Okay, yeah, that was a tough one. The definitely has some high variance to the Discover from Trumpeting Carnosaur. Hitting a Mox is, funnily enough, a situation where Mox is worse than land. I guess with Discover 5, I can't really, you know, hit the nuts or anything, but I certainly didn't. All right. Down a game, facing elimination. That's how it is. In these tournaments, can be over very fast. The Anime Dead was not the funny thing about Anime Dead is it wasn't devastating because my opponent didn't hit anything at all, but it was still annoying they got a 4/5 and took a card out of my hand. This hand is serviceable. I have turn 2 him. I can consider what I want to do first. If I him first, I'm less likely to hit a key card, but if I him, I can hit lands, which is pretty decent upside. And then I can take my opponent's best card afterwards with the bat. If I'm incredibly unlucky, I can set up my opponent's graveyard here. But I mean, what can you do? That was decent. That was hopefully a way to put a fatty into the graveyard. And a key land for later. Okay, so I guess I go Bat Channeler. Okay, well, this is a good hand. So I guess I take the Fiery Confluence, force my opponent to Bone Shards. Yeah, that sounds fine. Channeler. Baragoyf is right now a 2/3, so it does not die to Carnosaur, worth mentioning. Faithless Looting. So because I play Archfiend, I feel like I should play land out first. It's a bit annoying, but I think it has to be done. Curtains. I think I want to mill that over. I feel like I should get a little bit frisky here. Shuffling my own graveyard, I will not do. Creature land, sure. So I guess get in for 1. My opponent will attack. I will block. And then I will finish it off with Carnosaur. Because there's already creatures in the yard. Yeah, I feel like that's the move. Oh, I don't have Badlands. Crap. I don't have Badlands, I only have tapped. Okay, this sucks. Because now my opponent can get Baragoyf going. Ooh. Didn't think about that, but I played out my land first because I played the 8/4 in my deck. Yeah, there's a free harvester for you. So what do I need? I need a sneak attack. Here's harvester. Here's the theater. Here's Archfiend. But right now it doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, I don't have a way to get rid of it. It costs 3 mana, so let's put that to the yard. Reanimation! That's not reanimation. But I can find reanimation off of looting. Let's faithless looting. Life death. Duress. I guess I have to bin it. Life death. I'm in trouble. I'm in big, big trouble. An attack for 4. Right now, I don't even think sneak attack does it. With, you know, all of that stuff over there. Also, my opponent will have some pretty good reach. Bone sharding the bat and having Fiery Confluence. Let's see here. My opponent gets in for 8. Triggers the Baragoyf. Nice Minsc and Boo. Finds Crabomination. My opponent is relatively close to casting Crabomination. Oh, they also found Sheldred? Wow, I missed Sheldred. Okay. Well, I guess that just finishes the job here. Pretty smooth sailing. All right. GG's. Good luck in the rest. Yeah, we just got outshined here. Our deck came together for one match and didn't come together here, and it's pretty clear that on the fair axis, my opponent was just way better than me. So yeah, we have to bite the bullet and extend the hand and try again next time. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It was a cool one to try and combo a little bit out of the graveyard and sneaky business a little bit, but yeah, it just wasn't good enough. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you back on the channel next time.